Welcome back to 5.3 PO. It's been a while since I recorded my last video. I know I'm sorry to keep folks waiting, but life goes on besides working on this engine project. You know, like I said, I'm not doing this in a daily driver, so there's no rush, and you know, kind of taking my time, and and there's other things in life that require my attention as well as this engine. So sorry about the delay in the videos here. But today, the day has come where I'm gonna put this engine on, which obviously is done. I'm gonna load it up on a trailer and take it over to a friend's house, and where we're going to begin the process of installation. Now, of course, why move this around? Why take it somewhere else? Well, the answer's as I pan this camera around, you'll see why I'm not doing it here in my garage, because my garage is tiny. There's not much space here, and as many modern homes in typical subdivisions are built these days, the garages are not very tall either. So as I lift it up, as I lift the Suburban up, I just simply don't have a whole lot of room. There's one wall, there's the other wall. It's really tight. Yeah, there was enough room here to do the rebuild. You don't need that much space to do a rebuild as long as you're well organized. But there's just not enough room here to do the swap. So anyway, this episode I'm going to be loading this up on a trailer that I have, a utility trailer, and we're going to take it over to Terry's house, and we're going to we're going to work on getting this thing swapped out. One thing I want to show you before we go through the process of loading this up. There's a couple odds and ends that I left off and didn't fully address at the end of episode 50, which was, I'll just go through it and mention a few of the things. So first of all, you might recall I was having an issue with my spark plugs that I initially got. I got these AC Delco professional spark plug wires. And, with the way these things work, they have this 90-degree elbow. And remember, it was hitting cylinder number 6 and 7. So what I did was, actually 7 and 6 and 7, yeah. So what I ended up doing was I purchased a totally different set of spark plugs, wires. These guys here that don't have the 90-degree angle, and they're actually pretty nice. They're a lot thicker. And I got these boots that basically are heat resistant, to basically like a wrap, to provide some covering so that if it does, so it doesn't get heat from the headers. Now ultimately at the end of the day I still may end up wrapping the headers. I'm not entirely sure, but I just wanted to show you how I put these covers on these spark plug wires. And remember, this was the worst of them all. And you can see there's a little bit of daylight here, not much. There's a little bit of daylight. Okay, that one on cylinder number 7, the AC Delco spark plug wire was literally touching the header. Okay, so not only does this spark plug wire not touch the header, but I also have this boot, to protect it. All right, so how are we going to mount the engine to a trailer? All right, so we have to get this onto that. All right, and as you can see, here is the vehicle that it's going in. All right, I'll show you more about the old engine here in just a minute, but this is the vehicle it's going in, and we're gonna put everything on this trailer. So obviously one of my concerns was, how on earth am I gonna get this engine onto a trailer on this stand without bouncing all over the place and, you know, putting the engine at some sort of risk. Okay, how am I going to get it there safely? And I thought about building some kind of wooden crate, and I started doing some research, and I found on online these a variety of engine stands that you can mount these up to the basically the motor mounts, and then this would hold. There's two of them. One for each side, and then, you know, basically it just, you know, the engine just kind of sits there on these stands. Okay, and these could hold up to, I think, 750 pounds, so that should be plenty enough. So before I put this on the trailer, the engine on the trailer, I have to mount these to the motor mounts, and so I'm just gonna let the camera roll while you watch me go ahead and put them on. They come with these bolts. In case you're wondering, this stand cost, I think it was like 55 bucks. Again, ordered on Amazon. So, you know, an unexpected expense. But look, I'm not taking any chances after I rebuilt this. I'm not taking any chances in having some problems on the way over. All right, so. All right, first things first, we're going to remove the motor mount bolts here. Bolts, basically right. Okay, so from what I gather, the legs should point to the back, towards the back of the engine. The long leg should be on the back of the engine. I will point out too, there's holes here where you can mount casters. Okay, so if you want to have some casters on here to move this around, they do sell a caster kit, so you can have this on wheels and move it around the shop. But, you know, I'm setting this on a trailer, so I just want it to stay still. Okay. Question then is, do I use their bolts, or do I just use the bolts that it came with? And I'm just half tempted to not even bother taking these out of the bag and just go ahead and put the bolts right back in that it came with. So let's see if these will thread in all the way. Why not? Wow, that feels solid already. Good heavens. Well, that's not threading real nice. Don't like when things don't thread real nice. Check into that. Oh, there's not a whole lot of clearance here to put a socket on this, so looks like we're gonna have to get a ratchet wrench. This back one's a little bit tight to get to. That's okay. All right, we got this baby on. So time to turn the engine around. Put the other one on. So, as you probably saw, these bolts are easy to put on. This one, and this one. Easy, no problem accessing. It's this one back here that this bar gets a little bit in the way. So you have to use either an open end, wrench or a ratcheting wrench to get to this. You can't just stick a socket on here unless you've got, well, even a wobble socket won't get in there. So you need one of these, either open end or ratcheting. So and even better, I don't have a tilting. What do you call it? I don't have a pivoting ratchet head, so that would even really be even better. All right. So just FYI in case you ever choose or plan to use these. All right, so we are ready to go ahead and get this mounted onto the trailer. So let's do it. So, all right, so first thing I'm gonna do, I've got the stand on here, and I'm gonna take the engine off this floor stand. So anyway, lifting this baby up to take the weight off the stand. Something up. There we go. All right, Lonnie, you might want to back up. All right. All right, I need somebody to come and hold this so it stays just like that. Like? No, so come on this side. And you could hold it either by here or hold it by this bolt, just so it stays like that. Steady. Okay, now I'm going to lower it down very slowly. Here, Shan, come here. Come here and record from this side, pointing it here. There you go, I guess. Well, how about that? Pretty easy, huh? The hardest part of getting this in here quite frankly, was getting these wheels over these cracks in the concrete. The cracks in the concrete. The hardest part. Alright. Alright, now I'm going to do a quick little walk around to show you the old versus the new, or maybe I'll start with the new first. Now, I did pressure wash the engine bay, so my old engine in the Suburban actually is going to look pretty clean. So, but don't be fooled. All right, here's our nice new engine and the vehicle it's going in, and here's the old. And like I said, it looks pretty clean, but I pressure washed everything so that I would start out with a clean engine bay before I started this work. But this baby's got a lot of miles on it, 240 some thousand miles, and a bad lifter, and it's leaking oil like there's no tomorrow. So again, the old. And what's going in there? What's getting ready to go in there? All right, well, I'm embarking on the last trip in the Suburban with the current engine, so should be exciting, huh? All right, let's do this. All right, here's what we've got here. We have got the engine, which I've covered up so it doesn't get much debris blown into it. I've got the stand, I've got the crane, I've got my gargantuan jack stands and a couple jacks, some basic stuff, and some stuff in the truck. So as you can see, there's some stuff there for filming, but there you have it. All right, so we're in the Suburban here. Got some stuff loaded in the back that I'll need for the swap. Heading over to Terry's house to go ahead and do the swap, and well, here we are. Exciting times. This is the last time I'll be starting this engine, so you're gonna get to experience it with me. So now, granted, it sounds pretty awful, okay, but let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right, so you can see, or you can hear, I should say, the lifter tap, and I'm getting all kinds of problems. Surprisingly, the oil pressure is actually pretty good, but I'm getting that service suspension, StabiliTrak error because I have a misfire. Okay, normally with the misfire, the check engine light flashes. But service suspension system, I mean, I've got just about every error code. Service traction control, that's pretty typical. Whenever you have a misfire for some reason, service StabiliTrak, it throws those codes. Okay, whenever you have a misfire, and normally, like I said, this check engine light here normally blinks, but believe me, rest assured, it will be blinking here shortly. It always does. So let's see. Let me put some mileage information here so you can just see where we're at. I can't see with this sun. Oh, okay. So there's the odometer, 240,605. So, you know, all in all, not too bad. You know, I got 240,000 miles out of this crappy well, I say it's a good 5.3, but a crappy AFM. So let's pop the hood real quick just so you can hear some of the symptoms. Okay, so there's that lifter tap that I talked about. And if you're wondering, well, this engine looks super clean for 240. I pressure washed it yesterday so that when we dig into it, it's not like super greasy everywhere. But you can hear that lifter tap. And yeah. typical 5.3. So one other thing I did with this engine is I removed all the air conditioning refrigerant before like yesterday I went to a local auto mechanics shop, and because, you know, I'm not going to hang or set aside the air conditioning components. I want to completely disassemble the air conditioning components and then, you know, replace all the O-rings and everything. I may replace some of the AC parts, you know, depending on what they look like when I pull them off. But since I'm opening up the AC system, you know, I know probably most, you know, DIYers and garage mechanics probably just open up the high and low and just let the R134 go out into the atmosphere. And, you know, I mean, hey, people do what they want to do, but I thought, you know, why not do the right thing and be a little responsible? So I called stopped at actually a local garage right down the road from where I live, and believe it or not, they said they would evacuate my AC system for free, and as long as obviously they could keep the 134. And I said, sure, because you can go to 134 and get cans of or you can go to Walmart and get cans of 134 for pretty cheap. So I figured, you know, they can have my 134. It's not that expensive. So so they evacuated the system for free, and I was quite pleased. So now, once we begin to dig into it, we can just go right at it. We don't have to evacuate the system, pull a vacuum. I'll pull a vacuum on it right before I'm ready to put it all back together again, and I may even flush it. But I am going to vacuum it out right before we go ahead and put it all back together again. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this on the road, and I'll see you on the other side when I'm unloading everything. Okay, last voyage of the Suburban with its original engine. So in fact, I'll let you come along for a ride here just to see and hear what this truck feels like. So stand by. Okay, so here we are. You can probably hear that lifter tap. Doesn't sound good, but all 5.3s are eventually going to do that, particularly in these trucks. The 5.3 block is good, but the AFM stinks. Yeah, it's terrible that GM did that to us and put that on there, and you know. But hey, I got 240 out of mine, 240,000. So I'm taking it kind of easy. I got some precious cargo behind me. You can see the engine there with the blue tarp on. And quite frankly, I don't have a whole lot of power. You hear this thing? Oh, it's struggling. Oh, yeah, it's a tough go here right now, pulling this trailer. You hear that? Hear that? Those lifters. And there's that blinking check engine light I was talking about. All right, welcome back. Here we are with episode 51, and I finally got the Suburban and all the accessories brought over to Mr. Terry's place here.
Hi.
Say hello to Terry, and we're gonna. He's been incredibly gracious in allowing me to use his garage to do the work here on the Suburban. And yeah, and we're going to take you along for the ride to watch the installation, and we'll try to get you into the tune shop when we're done to see that part as well. And obviously you'll be along for the ride when we first turn it on. So just a quick look, and there's the Suburban, and Terry's got a very nice garage there, but that's where it's going to sit. And we're going to start digging into this tomorrow. And I'm going to set up a camera. I'll be wearing my GoPro on my forehead so you can watch the entire process of removal and installation. So thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you in episode 52, which starts the removal process. Thanks so much.